Hey everyone, let me see who's in the house. Welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Ooh, sorry, I got distracted. I got distracted. Hey Peekaboo. Hey Pieretta, welcome. I know, girl, I know you've been waiting. Shout out to you. I know you've been waiting. Thank you. Peekaboo, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Coffee and crime. Rose with thorns. Inquisitive. Um, is it Sandy, welcome. Everybody come through. Rose with Thorn, Liz, Bew, welcome, welcome, welcome. Nebulous, Christy, Cascadian Roots, SW, Generally Jenny. Everybody come through, you guys. Beautiful Messy Ball, welcome, welcome, welcome. ADAS, everybody welcome. Okay. Queen Bella, my love, welcome. Celie, Ada. All right, I said hello to everybody that's supposed to be here at least. So let me tell you guys something. I've been a little bit nervous covering this topic because I feel like, oh, there's some thundering going on. I just heard it through my headphones. I've been a little bit nervous covering this topic because you get different perspectives, right? I of course want to always side on the area that is the facts, always, right? Always. But sometimes I feel like I don't know if we know what all of those are as it pertains to Maui and what's been going on. Yes, I get it that they've been having press conferences. I don't know how they've had several, but there's also been a lot of people locally that have spoken out. And to me, having worked in government, having seen how government acts during disasters, I wouldn't put it past anybody to misinform or omit or try to minimize the chaos, right? Mass hysteria to try to, figure out how to deliver the information and, checkbox whatever needs to happen. That being said, though, I also think that we need to be careful um, with social media as well, because there is something to be said about a click and a view. There is something to be said about misinformation. So I kind of sit there and I'm just sitting there like, what do we consume? Who do we believe? And I had a talk with, shout out to my Discord folks, my mods, or everybody in my Discord, some of the folks in there. I had a little one-to-one shout out to Sinner, because I was telling Sinner, I said, Sinner, I know that this is a topic that people like. I get a lot of stuff that people send to me, and I sit there and I'm evaluating, and I'm like, how do we validate this information? How do we see this information for what it is? It, SW, that's where I'm at. I don't know what to believe. Even in their press conferences, I don't know what to believe, because although I get it that they have to stand in a united front, but there is a level of scrutiny happening. It's the same thing when Katrina happened, the levees, all this shit. To me, it is no different. This is why I sit there and I'm like, I'm just gonna take in the information for what it is, and I ask you the same. Um, there's been one specific creator who has definitely shared different. He's local. Let me put this on mute 1 second. He is local, okay? There's one creator that is local that has had a channel, and he started in channel in 2012. So it wasn't like he started his channel suddenly and then started covering the fires. No, he had already been doing content on this. There was something that he said here in his coverage that really concerned me. And I have a feeling that a good portion of the information that's coming out about the Maui fires is coming from this channel, because the algorithm is really pushing him. I mean, the views are viewing, okay? He is doing interviews, he's doing one-to-one, and this is why I'm saying, I'm like, okay, would this guy really, like, take it upon himself to lie to the masses? Lie to people? He's using his own footage. He lives in the area, right? He's going out there, he's showing us footage, he's doing interviews. Why would this guy take it upon himself to say things that don't necessarily make sense? And he's also taking a risk because he's a real estate agent. Doesn't he have like a license? There's an ethical thing here. I don't know. I sit here and I'm like, yo, I, is it a clicks and view thing, or because he's showing us actual images that a lot of the mass media isn't showing? He's talking about things that a lot of folks aren't showing. I'm sorry, and I am the most logical person, but I actually kind of feel like he's taking a risk with him doing what he's doing. I think he's trying to help. But I also understand the other side of like, is it help or is it more hysteria? You gotta weigh it. Let me show you just this little clip, okay? And let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments.
Right? And there are guards posted at every neighborhood. They could easily ask the families to line up at the guard post and just submit your name. Who are the number? What was your address in this neighborhood? How many in
And trying to make an argument as to like what is why is it taking them so long to figure out the unaccounted for? Okay? Like he's saying over here that they're not doing enough to figure this piece out. They could easily do it. And this is what he's giving that argument about.
your family? What are their names? What are their date of birth? Those guardsmen are just sitting there all day long, not doing anything. Wouldn't it make sense that you take a makeshift census right now at those, let the people come forward and just start a list? Like, how hard is that? Why are they not taking a census in all these neighborhoods to get a count of who is actually missing and going right to that neighborhood? These are small communities, these are small neighborhoods. Everyone knows each other. I have created a redirect to the Google spreadsheet where people can put in if they're missing somebody, which is Maui,
Mm.
excuse me, Lahaina survivors, LahainaFireSurvivors.com. My apologies. Lahaina survivors. I think that's what it is. .com. I'll put the link in the description. I'm thinking the kids got me kind of messed up right now. But in that list, you don't see people mentioning children. There's maybe 2 places I scanned through the whole thing. We do need a column there for date of birth. We need a column for sex and a column for, children, something that we can start to identify that. But I believe there's a very simple, organized way to gather this information. But I am looking specifically for your feedback.
So in the current list that Maui has, okay, in the current list, they have a list. And when I was looking at it, when I saw the list, it was literally ref ID, first name and last name. We don't know if these people are children. We don't know anything. He's not asking. He put up an interview of somebody and somebody else's GoFundMe, a separate lady. He's not directly asking for money. He's saying that if y'all got some, like, there's a separate link for that. But please note that his videos are monetized just like mine are. So is he making money off of reporting? Yes, he is. We're YouTubers. We make money off of breaking stories and reporting things. And I'll be honest with you, that's what he's doing, right? But if he's out there putting his real estate license on the line, his reputation on the line, yeah, I would probably be monetizing my videos too. You know what I'm saying? Because he is going out there driving and interviewing a bunch of folks. So I don't, and a lot of your people, just saying, I'm having a hard time believing that this man would put himself on the line for clicks and views when he has a career of real estate in Hawaii. And real estate in Hawaii isn't really cheap, right? I'm just saying. But let me hit play on this.
If you're here on Maui, if there's a way you can comment, if there's a way you can reach out to me, we want to talk to parents or anybody that's missing a child and find out what is going on with the children. To me, that's one of
Yes,
the biggest mysteries in this
very
entire thing
true.
at this point in time. So that is my update for you. One last thing on my notes. How could a transmission case melt in a fire that's considered a wildfire? How can you get temperatures that are that high? I've had many ex-firemen call me, many guys that are just, they're in the fire business. That just seems like a very high temperature. I don't know a lot about fire. I never thought I'd try to, but
And let me stop right here because there was this one specific clip I wanted to show you, and I can't find the timestamp. So we're going to go to my short because I took it from this video. So you guys can watch that video. But let me show you the specific clip I'm talking about, okay? There's one clip right here. He says something that I said, Lord have mercy, this is crazy. Right here.
There has been a lot of discussion about the Maui fires, right? And I had talked a little bit about them, but I felt a little bit like
Thank you.
people are getting different bits and pieces of information. How do we confirm this information? I've been watching this channel by the name of Hawaii Real Estate. Creator has been going live trying to inform people about what's going on. Now he's saying over here that Hawaii reported only one death in the ocean, where he's being shown pictures of bodies of people.
By the way, the police chief said that there was one body recovered from the ocean. I had people in my home yesterday that showed me pictures on their iPhone that I didn't want to see, that were pictures of dead bodies in the ocean.
There's also a lack of transparency in terms of how many children are actually missing. He's calling this out. He's saying that the government's not being very transparent. So who the hell do we believe? Do we believe at the press conferences? Do we believe, like, my question is if people aren't having Wi-Fi access, this creator has Wi-Fi access, is it impacting everybody? Some people? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. There has been a lot of
That was my question. So he said that Hawaii only reported so many deaths from the ocean, bodies from the ocean, and apparently there's been more than what is being actually reported. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, then who do we believe? Now, again, shout out to my wonderful member Sinner who sent this to me, who said, now there's a Reddit post out here about the real estate guy. I think his name is Eric West. It says Maui real estate agent Eric West is constantly publishing content that should be reviewed by the Maui public. Well, should it be reviewed? I mean, isn't that who the Maui? It's the public that's participating in these interviews with Mr. Eric West. So it's the public, right, that is engaging with these interviews. He's going out there. He's meeting with locals. He's interviewing locals. So which one is it? This is what they said. Maui real estate agent Eric West is constantly publishing content that should be reviewed by the Maui public. And then they said, and by review, I think you should mean roundly mocked and told to take his RNNJ attitude somewhere else. If Maui realtors had an effective ethics board, Eric West should not have his license. So people feel some type of way about Mr. Eric West putting content about the tragedy out there. But if he's exposing stuff, the poll is up there. Yes. He thank you. He had content prior to these fires. His page is from like 2012. All right? He was monetized before the fires. So it wasn't like he was like, "All right, I'm going to get monetized with these fires." No. I have a poll. And I'm asking y'all, where are you getting your Maui news from? Because something's not right. If you're going to tell me that the government is honest, I must say bullshit. It's not. And I'm the most logical person that's out there. I will debunk myself. But I do want to have a conversation about the fact that some of this shit is not making sense. Okay. Now let's look at the other side of the argument, okay? I want to show you guys another video. And this one is from a creator who, shout out to him, he actually did a fundraiser for the Maui fires. And this is 2-Bit Da Vinci, okay? Let me hit play on this because he talks about the conspiracy theories around the fires.
In terms of one of the conspiracy theories that this is a big land grab, let's break this down a little bit. So one of the arguments that I heard is that all the rich people's mega mansions didn't burn and Lahaina did. Well, there's a couple of things to that. The rich people's mega mansions are new construction. They're built with modern building codes with fire resistance in mind. Also, they're massive acreages where the homes are separated from each other by, in some examples, miles or acres, right? Also, they all have beautiful, lush green grass that's very well manicured and very short. None of that is much of a fire hazard compared to Lahaina with their old wooden buildings and much higher density of buildings. That could be a contributing factor. But again, I'm just speculating at this point. The second thing is that this is a land grab. And I think that has tainted this entire tragedy.
And that I think is true. Immediately, my mind went into land grab, especially when the locals were speaking out, especially when the lady from IG, who is a local, who said, who said that realtors were contacting locals, people that she had spoken to, trying to buy land. Now, if y'all want to sell the land, that's one thing, but trying to buy the land during this crisis. And what does that mean? And I know that the press conference said that they wanted to ensure that none of this shit was going to happen, yada, yada, yada. Then people are coming out saying, well, there was law changes recently in Hawaii that said that there isn't anything that people can do. So people are kind of going back and forth. So which one is it? I sit here and I'm like, which one is it? Which one is it? And Laura says, yeah, he's one of the highest grossing YouTube real estate people, I think, in the whole country, but definitely in Maui. But right, Laura, but he's always been doing Maui coverage. So listen, this is why I say I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe mass media a good portion of the time. I don't believe half of the YouTubers a good portion of the time. I believe Jesus Christ at this point because I don't believe nobody. Like this is too much. You know, I don't believe the press conferences all the time.
And I think we are losing focus of what really matters, which is the people of Hawaii and all the people that are still missing to this day.
Yes.
Right? If we look at this as people with directed energy weapons, which that's just a term that I absolutely hate, because there was a post on social media saying that this was a direct energy weapon attack, which was totally debunked. And in fact, it was a transformer that was sparking in Chile years before. We lose sight of what really matters. Now, is there a land grab component? Yes, because I've also seen people on social media, people in Hawaii, claiming that they've been called by investors, by realtors, asking if they...
We talked about this lady here on our channel. She has a huge IG page, and she's had it way before the fires, where she wants to make sure that the people from Hawaii understand, you know, what they can or can't do and seek the resources that they can in order to keep their land and ensuring that people are exposed for offering cash to families there.
They want to sell their land right now because people are probably panicking. They've lost their entire livelihoods, everything they own. And how will these insurance companies pay out? Are they going to go bankrupt? It's really hard to tell, and it's an incredibly scary time. But to be so incredibly selfish as to call these families in their most vulnerable moment to try to buy up this land now on the cheap is horrible. So two things can be true. This could just be an act of nature, and there can be absolute horrible human beings on this planet who are always trying to take advantage of things. And I think that's exactly what's happening here. There's an article on the BBC that I thought was quite insightful because they really did a good job of disproving some of this stuff. This is the direct energy weapon post. And I hate these titles. Like, I was warned not to post this video. So stupid, because this is a freaking lie. This is a transformer exploding in Chile. That does happen sometimes. It's not a direct energy weapon. Here's another one that I saw on social media. If the fires in Hawaii were natural, then what is this, right? This idea that, first of all, you never know if something's photoshopped or not, but like, what is going on here? And this one's actually pretty simple. It's known as a light pillar, and it's an optical illusion formed by reflections off ice crystals on a cold day. But what happens with cameras and glare is pretty interesting. For example, look at this light right up here. Look what happens when I move my hand over it. You see that? That is glare coming off of that light. Here's another one.
Do you think, Amanda says, well, Laura, this is a good point. I heard this too. Laura says, Rabbit, did you know that 3 weeks before the fires, the government signed an executive order that any land currently considered historic would go back to not historic if a natural disaster occurred? I've heard this too. So this is what I'm saying. And even Eric West from Hawaii Real Estate mentioned that as well. And a lot of you guys are saying this guy, the one that we're showing, because I'm showing both, listen, both coins of the argument, Mr. Eric West and Mr. What's his channel's name? What is his name? 2-Bit Da Vinci. Okay, both. I think it's best, right, that we show both, because we can't expect a press conference to tell us everything. They're not going to release everything that we need to know, you know? But it was literally a natural disaster. There you go. My sides keep chopping up. Oh, I don't know why. A lie is still a lie, no matter how many believe it. The truth is still the truth, even if no one believes it. Oh, they've been through a real land grab already. Look into their history. In my opinion, the islanders would not destroy their land. I don't think so either. What about the legislation that would pass several weeks ago, giving the governor, the power to decide what gets rebuilt if there was a disaster? It's a great question. I'm just reading some of the comments. Let's see. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You think it was a planned disaster? Wow, that's crazy. Thank you, Chico. Let me hit play on this, okay? Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
And I saw this as well, is if this was natural, how come the trees are all still standing and the structure's all burned? And as you can clearly see, there's a ton of destruction to the trees as well. There may be the occasional tree standing, but most of them are completely leveled. In all those cases, those are people who can't really explain something, asking a question, and that's okay. But there's also like Photoshop stuff. Like there was a church in Lahaina that burned down, and there was a picture that the Lahaina state shared, and people had added like a streak of light saying that it was a strike or like a direct energy weapon or something.
Wow.
And that was just flat out
Photoshop.
not true. It was falsified. It was a Photoshop effect. So I ask everyone to remember that you have to try to get some sense of what you're looking at, and don't go sharing things unnecessarily. Because the truth is, if you go back and look while doing my research, some of these ridiculous nonsense posts got way more views than the actual information of what was happening. And that is a shame and just a huge disservice from our social media culture. But I urge all of you guys to try to keep in mind that a couple things can be true. There can be huge land grab potentials during controversies and during tragedies, but that doesn't mean that they were the ones that caused it. Now,
something to keep in mind, again, both sides of the argument. Hawaii Real Estate posted the official contact info on the community tab if anyone wants to raise concerns. Thank you, Amanda. I did see that on his tab. There's also ongoing battles on the water. Then the water was another issue too. They did not contain these fires. They weren't very well contained. That this was not an emergency management situation where they planned this out. You know what I'm saying? People have debated about the sirens going off or not. You know what I'm saying? That's the other factor to this too. But one, we have to agree on one thing. This situation wasn't well contained at the government level and everywhere else. Natural disaster, man-made, whatever it was not well contained, and it hasn't been, because it's been disastrous ever since. That's what I don't know. Can you? Right. This Purita says this wasn't a natural fire. They're trying to say all the kids are to ashes, but even cremated leaves bones and teeth. Ashes, you mean? So something had to be an extreme accelerant. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it's been very informative. I don't think I'm just not getting the vibe that he's trying to misinform the people. He's just showing you guys what, in my opinion, what ABC News isn't showing you, what CBS News isn't showing you, what other outlets aren't showing you, what the press conference isn't talking about.
I'm not here to tell anyone how to think or what to believe about anything. I hope you can start to see that this was kind of a perfect storm, and Hawaii was not prepared. This here is Lahaina, and there's literally one road to the north and to the south to come in and out. If anything happened along these paths to block it, there would be no escape route for any of the citizens living in these regions. I think Hawaii deeply underprepared for the potential of a fire.
Yes.
And like we mentioned with Hurricane Lane in 2018, hurricanes stoking huge gusts can have huge ramifications. Also, the Hawaii Energy Company should really probably be at blame as well, and they already are,
Wow.
because you have to start thinking about burying these lines. Anytime you see power lines overhead, that is a potential for failure, right? Because if heavy winds or any other natural disaster come rolling through, you're going to have down power lines on top of everything else. And that
Yes, and wind can be an accelerant, right? Rabbit agrees 100% is telling mass media isn't. I agree. I just feel like he is. However, I'm still kind of like on the fence on a couple. Like I go back and forth on this, and this is why when people say, "Well, show me facts," I only believe the press conference. That's cool. Um, there are times where disasters have happened, where press conferences will happen, and they're not always accurate, or they're not telling everybody to avoid, the hysteria. I get it. But to really understand what's going on, not only in a culture, but in an area, you really got to get in the trenches where people are actually being impacted. That's just my thought. The extreme acceleration was the hurricane and the high winds. The high temps, what did you say? Hold up. The high temps were from high winds. Black smoke is from structure high temp fire. Thank you so much for the 499 SW. Thank you for that. Voodoo says, I just want to know where all the children are missing. Well, I want to know this. Let me show you guys something, okay? This is the list. This is the list that they showed at the press conference, right? Here's the list. And all I see is a ref ID, first name, last name, but I don't see an age of the person. These are the people that they're trying to, what is it? And I'll read it in verbatim because I don't want to misread or missay something, but the validated list of names of individuals who remain unaccounted for is below. I don't know how old these people are. Who are the children? Thank you. I'd like to know. Do we have a number? Are these the children in here too? Look at this. Because we don't even have an age. Look at this. Almost it's at the number is 1941, and I think that they're checking them off or removing them as people are like identifying themselves as not as being accounted for, you know? But let me go back here a little bit, okay? Because I think it was like right at the 15-minute mark that he said something here that really caught my eye.
Where are the children?
Where?
Where are the children? Where are the children? And I mean that in every way. Are they alive? Are they not alive? What happened to them? Are you a parent that is missing a child? A lot of things are not adding up right now when it comes to the children. They're just not adding up. And I don't know what the answer is, but if you just think about it logically, there's 1,000 missing people. Let's just say a third or a quarter are children under the age of 18. Let's just be conservative. Let's just say it's 100 children, just being conservative, that are missing. Wouldn't you expect then at least 50 or 60 parents that are crying out in the streets, that are posting on social media, that are frantically searching for their children, that are making a big huff and a puff and just incredibly upset and just out of their mind? I'm not seeing those posts. I'm not seeing those stories. So help me. If you
It's a good point. This is a good point. We can't ignore this. When they put out the list, they're not putting ages, guys. I checked that Maui list. Check it out. I was a little surprised. So you're going to do a list, but you're not going to put their ages? Are some of these elderly people that couldn't be saved or they're unaccounted for? Or some of these children? How old are these people on this list?
are someone that's on Maui that is missing a child, or you know your child perished, the world wants to hear from you. We need to find, this is to me the point of the spear. This is the most important pressing question that needs to be answered right now. There's all kinds of rumors about by the way, the police chief said that there was one body recovered from the ocean. I had people in my home yesterday that showed me pictures on their iPhone that I didn't want to see, that were pictures of dead bodies in the ocean. I saw them with my own eyes. I'm not the police chief. I'm not anywhere close to this investigation, or I was in that town 2 days later when everything appeared to be cleaned up. The streets were already cleaned up. I'm
So
just saying, I've seen.
I want to point this out too. He talked about in this video how there was a conflict of interest, that he felt like there was a conflict of interest with the coroner's office being the police chief or something like that. I'm not surprised about that. There are some towns, some places that like the police chief will be the coroner or will be something else in addition to their designated role. If you guys remember the Kylie Rodney case, I think it was Truckee. They had one in the same in their trade. Does it cause a conflict of interest? Yes, it does. However, they figured out how to deal with that. I'm not surprised that Maui has it that way as well.
Pictures of people that were in the ocean. So regardless well, I just feel like the government needs to come forth right now and be transparent with what they know and quell the rumors. And it just doesn't make logical sense. Another thing that doesn't make sense, these are neighborhoods, right? And there are guards posted at every neighborhood. They could easily ask the families to line.
Thank you, Sinner. Sinner, by the way, I shouted you out and I showed the video and I showed the Reddit post. Shout out to Sinner because I think I was sharing. I'm gonna say I was sharing with Sinner. I was like, I get people that hit me up all the time about the Maui fires, and I don't really know where I land with this because I'm still kind of like trying to make up my mind, but also trying to make sure that I'm reporting on what seems to be factual or what seems to be more conclusively accurate, and that's hard to do in this situation.
Up at the guard post and just submit your name. Who are the number? What was your address in this neighborhood? How many in your family? What are their names? What are their date of birth? Those guardsmen are just sitting there all day long, not doing anything. Wouldn't it make sense that you take
Mm.
a makeshift census right now at those? Let the people come forward and just start a list. Like, how hard is that? Why are they not taking a census in all these neighborhoods to get a count of who is actually missing and going right to that neighborhood? These are small communities, these are small neighborhoods.
I think this is an accurate question. We're expecting people to self-report based on a list that Maui had. Look, I'm showing it to you guys. We're expecting people to call and reach out. Some of these, like I said, we don't have an age on these folks. They share similar last names. I can only assume that some of these are family members. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Okay. How do you say that last name? Justin Recolsi. I can't even say. I'm not even going to try. But like this family right here, I'm assuming is a family. They share the same last name, specific type of spelling. Recolizado. I think that's how you say that. Justin Victoria Eugene. Here's another one. I don't want to assume, but we have no ages. So we truly don't know who these people, like their ages. Are these people elderly? Maybe they couldn't get out on time. Could these be children potentially? Vinegas. Here's another one. Wood. Young. But we have no ages. And I don't know if that was specific to that. That would be a question that if I were to be there, I would probably ask. Exactly, CL. No matter what big disastrous conspiracy and grifting always seems to emerge out of them. It's very true. Very true, CL. Shout out to you. No, you could. I'm pretty sure you could still fly to Maui. There's been reporters that have been flying in and out. They probably have like a designated area. Most of the people still don't have cell service or internet to go online. Shake my head. Eric has been asking for Elon to provide Starlink. Yeah, and then Okay, my own ignorance, I didn't know about what Star. I was like, what the hell is a Starlink? Because he's always thanking everybody for Starlink, and I guess it's like a satellite type of Wi-Fi or something, where like you're in an island or wherever you may be, you can actually get service. So people have been mailing these Starlink packages to get people connected back to the Wi-Fi. I don't know. There isn't. That's what I'm saying. It's like if this was, say it was the state of, I don't know, Texas, right? Or even if it's the state of, shoot, Nevada. I'm just thinking of different states. We would have more information, right? And we would be picking up more about what is really going on. But because this is in an island, okay, uh, we don't get a whole lot. We're getting what the government is saying there. But even then, I have a feeling that we're not being told everything. And it's not to get on some conspiracy bandwagon. I just feel like it's not the most accurate information that we're getting, you know? Just my thought. Okay, cool. Starlink. I had no idea. So it's Elon Musk satellite Wi-Fi. Look, see, I'm learning. I didn't had no idea. No idea. So he's out here interviewing locals. Okay. You guys can believe what he says or you cannot. Okay. But he is putting people on blast. He's putting all these government folks on blast. He's putting emails out. Okay. Call to action. Hold up. He's calling them out. There you go. He's putting their shit out there on Front Street. Gotcha. My friends and family on Maui is where I'm getting most of your information from. Okay. Ooh, Eric said that there was a bunch of Starlinks delivered to Home Depot, but somebody bought them all? That's not cool. It's not cool. I don't know. I would like to, I mean, I know Mr. Eric is probably really busy, so it's not somebody that I would bug, but I don't know if anybody's out there, I would like to talk to them more directly. If it's a local, it would be great. Um, so we can get some more information and figure out how to like send support or help or whatever. Because there's just been so much conflicting information, That's all. I also have issues with every high level official being off the island the day of the fires. No decision makers, no leadership. Another strange coincidence. I'm struggling. I hear you. I hear you. Who hit who up? Eric West? You think he would talk to us? Because I know he's big. Like, I don't, we just have a lot of questions. That's all. You know? You think he would talk to us? I don't know, you guys. But y'all let me know in the comments. And I don't want to be a nuisance to this situation. I kind of want to figure out, okay, how can we help? Um, I want to hear his opinion about why he thinks this is happening. ALS says, but how wrong is it to speculate? Is it actual crime to conspire? People getting mad on people theorizing on whether or not a crime is being committed is an actual human right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that it's wrong to speculate. I think that what is wrong is the mass hysteria that can happen from speculation. I think we have to be um, careful with that. That's all. And if you have a platform, sometimes you have to use it responsibly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, I'll reach out. I don't know if he would respond to me, but I'll reach out. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we go off on speculation. Okay, I'll check it out and I'll see what we can do. Now, of course, not being in Hawaii and stuff, I have family in the Big Island, but not in Maui. So I'm kind of curious to know what that would like. All of that. All right, baby bunny. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta go tend to baby bunny. I'm kind of glad that I was able to talk to you guys about this because I had a lot on my chest about this specific topic, and I wasn't really sure how to approach it because I was hearing both sides of it, and I don't want to misinform, but I also don't want us to like Like, if we're not getting the right information, I think we should call it out. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. That's it. Thank you. Big Sight. Grab it. Say what you want to say. I will. Shout out to you guys. I will. That's it. I just felt some type of way. I was like, nah, man. Like, but something's not right. And I'm not the only one who sees it that way, too. There's other people, intelligent, good people out there that are saying something's not right about this. You know what I'm saying? Something's not right. I know. I get it. All right, y'all. Okay. Yes, you tell the people not to forget to hit the like button. We're not getting the full story. I don't think we are. And that's not on some conspiracy theory. I honestly think we're not getting the right info. Just say it. I don't know. But anyways, I'll let you guys go because I gotta go tend to this baby bunny. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you. I'll reach out to Mr. Eric and see what he says. He might be too busy. It's a different time zone, but we will try. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. Rabbits out.